watch him amazed in awe of the mystery of his perfect ways. All I have need of his hand will provide. He's always been faithful to me.
God's faithfulness to White Oak and to all of us as members has been extended over all the years. I think one of the most trying times during this, where God's faithfulness pulled us through, was when our pastor was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. He was a fighter. He continued to come. He would go away on a trip to Gatlinburg, but he would want to be here on Sunday.
I think one thing that I really appreciated is our weekday early education. Our babies and our young people. That was one thing that really helped me out back in 1986, 7, 8, 9, and 90. The people here then really helped me and my family out in regard to helping out with my children.
For 125 years, White Oak Baptist Church has stood as a testament to God's faithfulness in Greenville, South Carolina. It was very near this spot that a group of believers in Jesus Christ took shelter from the Carolina heat and heard the old story of Jesus. The large oak trees were there at the beginning, even if today there are no human witnesses to the founding of the church.
As visitors to the church look around, they see oak everywhere. Oak floors, an oak pulpit, even oak offering plates. In fact, our church library still houses 2 plates that were fashioned from a white oak tree that once stood on the original church property. But white oak is more than trees or property or people. This church is a testament to God's enduring grace, power, and faithfulness.
Across the street, atop the knoll-like rise in the parking lot, is where White Oak's story began. And while the church is officially celebrating 125 years, faithful people in this corner of Greenville, South Carolina, were meeting long before that. A group began gathering outdoors under a shady oak in 1877. A Methodist minister named S.M. Green held services near what is now the White Oak Cemetery. Pretty soon, the little congregation under the oaks was holding Sunday school with 15 people. Churchgoers were asked to bring an egg every Sunday to help pay for the services.
Late in 1877, Talbot E. Waddell sold a parcel of land to those same egg-toting parishioners. The building housed a school during the week, then on weekends they held church services there. The church was officially organized on March 17, 1895. There were 9 members that first Sunday, 8 women and 1 man. Several names show up over and over in the church records during those early years: Green, Bradley, McCarter, Hudson.
In 1898, a building, white with gable ends and blinds bronze green, the trimming to be yellow, was erected on the site in the parking lot across the street.
There are few vestiges of that original building. Among those are several pews scattered around the current building, as well as the etched crystal goblet in the church lobby. Mr. Bristow Green gave land for a parsonage in 1938, and by 1943, a home was erected next door to this building in what is now the side parking lot. In 1946, P.D. Metters of Greenville's Metters Peanut Butter Candy and Sandwich Shop was part of the plan to enlarge the church to meet the needs of the growing community on the northeast side of Greenville.
Shortly after World War II, Greenville began expanding. There was lots of new construction in the area surrounding White Oak, including the neighbors across the street. Bob Jones University arrived in Greenville in 1947.
And we came to White Oak and we were immediately enveloped by the young people. They just took us in like we'd always been a part of the group, you know. And so we just loved it. We really did. And I think coming to White Oak and seeing the love and companionship and all that was here, I think it changed my perspective of what salvation and the Christian life was all about. I think that gave me a new perspective, and it's followed me the rest of my life.
Greenville kept growing, and the church had to decide whether to build a larger building where it was or move up onto the superhighway, Wade-Hampton Boulevard.
In February 1955, the church voted 101 to 48 to move on to Wade-Hampton at the current location.
That's one thing about White Oak that I love, that people care for each other and they pray for each other, and that's important. I mean, I guess maybe other churches have that. I don't know. We've only been here, but it's close, and if something happens to somebody, we feel it ourselves.
By 1962, the new church was completed. It featured a 110-foot tall steeple, 16 16-foot antique glass windows, and a 16-stop Moeller pipe organ.
Well, it was all that because there was a search for the church bell. It just so happened that the young man who was directing the choir had been in my wedding. He was my husband's friend from high school on. So we never felt strange. We always felt like there was, and the McCarters who were here were loving, everybody was. And it was a small community, you got to know everybody. And I was quickly involved with the piano, so I've always been at the piano since I've been here.
And a lot of our lives were centered here on Wednesday nights with the meal and with RAs and GAs that the girls were doing. So I remember that there were a lot of people here, and we played, we had sports teams, basketball, baseball, we did all of those things. So except for when we were at home, and because this was not the internet age, this was, you know, a lot of our social life and other lives revolved around people that we knew here.
I see White Oak as being a beacon here on Wade-Hampton Boulevard, and we're all praying every day for our church that we love so much.
125 years after the founding of White Oak Baptist Church near this spot, those who have come after echo the sentiments of an early pastor who said during the church dedication in 1895, "This house is the Lord's house and is the realization of long-cherished hopes. It is the outcome of persistent Christian work for many years. Some of the workers have passed away, but their labors abide, not having been in vain in the Lord. It is an object lesson on the power of little things and the great result of small beginnings." We would add this tribute from Psalm 115, "Not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to your name give glory, for the sake of your steadfast love and your faithfulness."
But another thing it is that, you know, God is not through with White Oak. It's been a lighthouse on this road for a long time. He's not through with it. And I think we will fill that auditorium up again.